Hello everyone, good day. How are you today? And we are going to continue with our discussion on literary devices. And we are going to start with the first one, which is irony. So irony is the use of language which is the opposite of what is meant. For example, I love it when I drop my phone. How wonderful. That's really ironic because I believe that you cannot actually love it when you drop your phone, especially when you have all the files and all the passwords in it, and you cannot actually say how wonderful because you need to save money for a new phone, of course. So that's irony. Again, irony is the use of language which is the opposite of what is meant. And next is anaphora. Anaphora is the repetition of a word or phrase for rhythmic effect. For example, you must not stop, you must not wane, you must not fade. So in this particular example, there is a repetition of the phrase you must, or the two words you must, in three different cases. So it actually creates rhythmic effect for that matter. Next, chiasmus. Chiasmus is when two sentences are balanced against one another, but with the words reversed. Here are some examples of chiasmus in use. Number 1, work to live and do not live to work. Next, she went to the town, off the town went she. Number 3, you forgot what you want to remember, yet you remember what you want to forget. So it's very clear that there is a repetition of, or there's a reversal of the first statement that is used in the next. So it's very easy to notice. Again, that is chiasmus. Next, euphemism. I believe you have experienced this one, like when you heard the news, but that is not actually stated direct to you of what the news is all about. There is something like sumbingay in our vernacular. So again, euphemism is the replacement of a phrase which might be deemed offensive by one which implies the same meaning but does not carry offense with it. Here are some examples of euphemism in use. Number 1, instead of saying he died, you would say he passed away. So in this case, there is what we call taking the word a little effect or a little intensity. So instead of saying he died, so that the listener would not be shocked at what the news is all about, you're going to say he passed away. And next, instead of saying she had an abortion, you would say she terminated the pregnancy. Number 3, instead of going for a poo, you would say going to use the bathroom. Next, hyperbole. Hyperbole is a term which uses an exaggeration to add a more dramatic meaning to the sentence. And here are some examples of hyperbole in use. My bag weighs a ton. That is so exaggerated because your bag can actually weigh a ton, right? And next, his nose is the length of the river Nile. That is too exaggerated again, because a nose cannot actually be as long as the river Nile. But of course, it is utilized in poetry or in fiction so that it actually creates a sense of, shall I say, a sense of attraction or sense of readership to the reader, so that these devices are used. For example, hyperbolic statements are used by authors to basically try to entertain the readers. Next, I have a million things to do today. So in just a day, you can actually do a million things. So that is hyperbolic. Again, that is a hyperbolic statement. Next, litotes is basically, I believe, the opposite of hyperbole, in which it is an understatement which implies a negative to express the meaning in the affirmative. Here are some examples of litotes in use. She isn't the friendliest woman in the world. Next, I wasn't unhappy with the gift. That dress is not too bad. Okay, so there is actually a sense of negation in these examples. There is isn't, wasn't, and not too bad. These negations are applied in the statement to create an effect that means the opposite. So she isn't the friendliest woman in the world. It's basically the friendliest woman in the world. She is the friendliest woman in the world. Okay. So next, synecdoche is a statement in which only part of something is expressed to relate to the whole. Again, only part of something is expressed to relate to the whole. Here are some examples of synecdoche in use. At school, comma, the children learn ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. So ABCs and 1, 2, 3s are representations of learnings that children will get from school or will get at school. So in ABCs, children learn how to read, how to write, how to speak, and how to listen. Okay, so basically, children is learning the language or learning literacy in oracy in that case. And 1, 2, 3 is a representation of mathematical analysis or mathematical subjects or topics learned by children at school. Next, he has just got some new wheel. So wheel is a representation of a car. It's just a part of a whole car, right? Next, there were many hard hands in the factory. Hands is basically, or hands are representations of the different workers in the factory. So a hand is basically a part of a body. It can actually work. So it's just a part of a whole. So that is synecdoche. And these are the works cited. Thank you so much for watching our discussion for today, and I hope you learned something from it. Thank you, and bye-bye. Have a good day.